Good day, people. How are you doing? It's been a while. Sorry about that. Not sorry. Just been absolutely hectic over here. How are you doing? How are you navigating these quite intense, transformative, and exploratory energies? So, those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Check out the other readings in this playlist because it's just all a free resource essentially for you to explore and utilize your own time, pace, whatever you want. Those of you who are returning, sorry for being away for a while, but at the same time, like I said, not sorry, because trust I am kind of energy is just basically it's always been at the back of my mind or in the forefront or wherever of the priorities of who you are, why you are, where you are in this current moment, and as the energies move along, what is actually happening. So doing things as required. There are some things that have been possibly, from what I'm hearing from quite a few of you, that it's literally been, it's imminent, it's required your attention instantly, it's required your attention now. So therefore, trusting who you are, trusting what your process is, trusting what you've got to do. And in that, you've actually, those of you who this is going to resonate for, understanding the self-love in that process, understanding the preservation of your energy fields, of your energy source, of your resources, of your well-being, of your mental capacity to hold certain things, your physical capacities to endure certain things, and making sure that you are, maybe for the first time, for some of you, putting yourself as a high priority, putting yourself as a priority. Excuse me. And understanding that some things just can't, they just can't be shifted. You have to do them now, and then you have to kind of see what is coming up later, which one can be put as a second or third item on the list to do, whereas there's some that have to be done now. So I'm going to sneeze again, my apologies. Oh, that's really sharp. Resignation. Say goodbye to what you no longer need. Therefore, in this, trust I am. It's the connection to self, the deeper connection to self, the deeper knowing of who self is. The I am is also aware of I am not someone who is going to be taken for granted. I am not someone who should have been taken for granted. Therefore, I'm shifting and changing who I am. Who I am to myself. Who I am to others. If I'm not somebody who's been taken for granted, I'm someone who's not taken for granted. Therefore, how does your relationship shift and change with others? How do you cooperate with others from that new stance, from that reinforced empowerment within yourself? Take the hand offered or asked. So understanding the difference. Now, this may ring true for quite a few of you. When you're given an opportunity, somebody says like, I can help you with that and do this for you, and along the lines, you kind of think, that's really kind of someone. I don't know why these energies are coming up, but they're quite prominent. Of when we trust someone is doing it with the best intention towards us, and then slowly, or quite quickly in some cases, you realise they weren't doing it for my benefit. They were doing it because they wanted to benefit from something by giving me something that made me feel energetically or emotionally or psychologically or physically obligated to give them something in return. Now, those kind of people, if they are there, it's about you trusting I am what I am. Now, somebody's offering me something that I not really need or want, but you know what, it's a sweet, kind gesture. Knowing the difference then to know that I don't need to have this, but if I receive this kind of favour or this kind of small gift or whatever it is, I'm not obligated to give anything back in return. I'm not obligated to be over thankful. So then the over thankful part, say goodbye to what you no longer need. So if you don't need it, then is someone else giving you something you don't need? Have you in the past become over thankful? And what I mean by over thankful is that, oh my God, that was so amazing. Oh my, I didn't have to do that, but they did, and they went out their way, and blah, 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 blah. And just overthanking, because you're not used to someone giving you something in that way. You're not used to someone helping you or supporting you in that way. Therefore, because you're not used to it, it's not that the thing is particularly useful to you or even required by you. It's the fact that you're not used, as possibly in childhood there was something in particular you needed, but you weren't having gratification of, you weren't receiving from the correct source or from the source that you wanted it from. For example, just as an example, I'm not blaming parents, but you weren't given a particular or certain kind of support from your parent. So when someone else comes in and gives you a little tiny bit of it, your gratitude is amplified, because then even someone who doesn't have to give it you is giving you a tiny bit of it, or they're giving you some of it. Therefore, the amplification of thankfulness kind of takes it out of context of what is actually being given, and it's taking it out of context of how useful it actually is. It sounds ungrateful, but it's not. It's actually you trusting who you are, trusting that you are, trusting you deserve a certain level of support, of resources, of this or that, and therefore not being ungrateful, but not over grateful for something that actually is just it's basic manners, it's basic consideration, it's basic self-care, about self-love, self-value, self-worth. To receive that in this kind of context, it's like if you have that as overflow and you see that someone's struggling with bags or something up their path, whatever it is, do you want a hand with that? And then just helping them up the, I don't know, it's like sometimes, especially when living in London and places like that, there's like a parent or someone with a buggy or a pram and then trying to get up the stairs. He's like, would you like a hand with that? You're literally just holding the one side. You're going up the stairs anyway. You're both going in the same direction. Just holding it and helping it. That parent's gratitude, you can see it on their face, or the carer, whoever it is. But the actual act is literally, I'm here. I can give you this tiny bit of support. Offer you this support, so you're not struggling. There you go, easing your path a little bit. But then, do you take that and treat it as if they've just given you the world, or giving you masses and masses of things that it's not actually in context? So looking at the context of what you're giving, looking at the context of what you're receiving, are you doing that? You're giving something and wanting a deeper gratitude or greater gratitude in thanks of it, because you had to go out your way, but then were you asked to go out of your way? Or did you do it out the kindness of your heart with an expectation? You're looking at, I am, trust, I am able to do this. Trust, I am not able to do that. Therefore, I'm limited on some level. Therefore, I can't help with this. I can't help with that. Not being mean to yourself, not feeling incompetent, not feeling like you're unsupportive. Just understanding the basic, fundamental aspects of self. So let's get a masculine and feminine card for this. That was quite an intense reading, but aren't they all? There we go. Wheel. From this point, you're going to be more effective. You're going to be more efficient as you are running your life, as you are running your path, as you are understanding more so of what you do need and what you don't need, more so of what you are actually receiving from others in relation to the context, what is truthfully being received and what is perceived as being received. Are you really getting masses and masses of resources, or someone just simply giving you the drag ends of something, but because you're not used to that receptivity of something, you're not used to receiving anything in that kind. Interesting. So, okay, I'm going to have to go deeper here. So, the feminine card I was going to place there, but it fell on the wheel. This felt like putting a spoke in the wheel. So if there are certain things that can be moving forward, or are there certain projects, certain things in your life that should have been moving forward with ease, that could have been flowing with ease, but you stopped it, or someone else stopped it by putting a spoke in your emotional being, not trusting who you are, not trusting your capacity, not trusting your judgment, not trusting that, you know what, I don't have the capacity to help in that way, therefore I'm not going to. But instead, putting this in the wheel and saying, right, I'm going to drop everything I've got to do that's a priority of my own and go and help that person, or go and do this for that person. Putting an end to your flow of in your wheel. That needs to go. That needs to be put behind you. That needs to shift and change. It needs to be more focused on the wheel going forward smoothly for yourself, and the stuff that stopped that from happening has to go. Resign it. Say goodbye to what you no longer need. You don't need the approval of others. You don't need the acceptance of others. You don't need someone praising you for helping them, for blah blah blee blee whatever. It's like, you focus on you. Trust I am doing the correct thing for me. Wow. That is a... Right, I'm going to just take those cards that fell out and shuffle those, because that was intense. And let's see the first one that falls out from there. Right, there you go, Five of Cups. What's the Five of Cups usually? So it's that feeling of being... You're not cooperating with yourself in a particular way. You're not cooperating with, therefore, with others in a particular way that's beneficial to you. Have a look at this, because this is literally a massive energy that's coming up, that's going to liberate you and empower you in so many ways that you can't yet see or feel, or you're getting the sense of it. And we've got the Nine of Wands, right? Mastering this. It's the meat of it. It's the embodiment of it now. It's literally in our faces to be sorted out. It's in our faces to be had, to look at, to evaluate what is bringing me down, what is pulling me back, what have I done to not actually support myself, let alone expecting support from others. When I'm not getting support from others, how can I support myself? How can I encourage myself? How can I be more good to myself? How can I be more loving to myself and considerate towards myself? Trust I am. Trust I am allows you to see what you're not. So, hope you enjoyed that. Do subscribe and hit the bell if you'd like more readings like this, to empower you to question things in ways that we don't always question them. So for now, enjoy. Peace and love.